Hello, world. What is up? Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Matt Forte, and we are here live at the Build Studio in New York City. Our next guest star in Travel Channel's all-new series, Ghost Brothers Haunted Houseguests. The show follows the best friends and ghost hunters as they travel across the country to embed themselves with 8 different families struggling with the paranormal. As you'd expect, the show is equal parts scary and hilarious. Here to tell me just how haunted this studio really is, Dalen Spratt, Juwan, and Marcus Harvey, the Ghost Brothers themselves, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? I'm excited. Are you excited? Because I am. They're very excited. In just a second, we're going to bring them out. But first, I believe we have a peek at the premiere episode. So let's go ahead, run that clip.
So what kind of spirit you think? We got like maybe a demonic,
Evil spirit sounds like a
poltergeist.
poltergeist.
yeah,
or something.
straight up.
For sure. The way it's throwing mirrors?
Man.
Or
Or
you better not throw no mirror at me,
Nah.
because I can't have no bad luck.
guess what, man?
What?
The bros are here.
And that means
We're
what?
gonna take care of this situation.
And that means what else?
We're gonna make sure this family's straight.
And tell them what else?
Xavier's gonna be able to sleep good.
Yeah.
Come on.
Jessica gonna be able to sleep in her bed comfortably
Today. And guess what I'm about to do?
What you gonna
And
do?
what you
I'm about
gonna
to
do?
pop the trunk on these ghosts as soon as I go.
I think you locked the door.
I thought
You
I
locked
did.
it, you
Damn.
locked it.
Keep it.
It's
keep
a new
it.
car. It's a new
Keep it.
car. I'm just saying, it's a new car.
Maybe it's a manual.
I think it's.
No, I think it's here. I think it's.
Oh.
All right.
What the heck you gonna do with that? That's why nobody likes you, Dalen.
Ladies and gentlemen, make a crazy amount of noise. Dalen, Juwan, and Marcus, the Ghost Brothers. Right here.
Yeah. What's happening?
How do you end a clip on "That's why nobody likes you, Dalen"?
Cause that's the truth. I'm sorry. We all love you though. We love you though.
That's our signature
Dalen.
moment.
Nobody does, yeah. We love all of you guys. Congratulations on the new show. I'm super excited to talk to you all about it, man. How's everybody doing? How's life? How's New York? How's the city treating you? How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm loving New York.
Yeah?
I always love New York.
I mean, we got a live crowd right here, so you know you feel good when you got the New York crowd. They're like, get over here, get out of
It is.
here.
We're excited. I heard you give the spiel about being excited.
Very excited, and you heard them.
I heard them.
Yeah, so it's all
We're
true.
excited too. Thank you for your
Good.
enthusiasm, guys.
There's a lot of good energy in the room. Yes, absolutely. Are there, when you're in New York, are there places that you avoid that are haunted, that have bad vibes, that have bad... There's a lot of good energy in this room right now, which I chalk up to the live audience and our excitement. But are there places that you have been, you won't go back to, etc.? Anything in the city that is haunted or you feel is haunted, you feel a presence?
Well, maybe my hotel room right now, because that thing is so old. I mean, nothing against the network, but I'm just saying.
Put everything against the network.
Everything against. I'm just playing. But no, nonetheless, no, you know, we're actually kind of excited. That's kind of like one of our things. We love to go some places that are haunted. So, I mean, we do this often. So, shoot, if it's haunted, you need to let us know so we can go check it out, you know?
I'm going to be honest. I've never had the pleasure of investigating any haunted locations in New York. So I would love to check some new places out, maybe with some haunted homes.
Yeah, there's got to, I mean, absolutely. Not just, the city itself has to have, but what about New York State? Like, what about Sleepy Hollow or anything like that? Have you guys been over there yet at all?
I have not. I have not.
We
So
haven't been
this
there yet.
this season is like my first time, or probably majority of our first times investigating in like in the Northeast.
Yeah.
So we hit Massachusetts, we hit New Hampshire.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff that you guys encounter out there. I didn't realize it was like the first time.
Yeah, a lot of our cases are primarily in the South,
Yeah.
Midwest. A lot of huntings take place in the South. Like your Louisiana,
None-
Texas, Mississippi, Alabama's. A lot of crazy stuff happened around there.
Did you guys notice like a different style of haunting as you moved out of the region? Like, are ghosts sort of universal? Was the energy sort of universal? Or were you like, wow, I've never experienced a energy like this
So
before?
you meaning like do ghosts have accents or something like that?
People give me a hard
Okay,
time because
just-
I've asked that about dogs, but that's a completely different conversation.
Because I mean, a ghost saying, yo, you know, it says like, AB, yo, I'm out here ghosting, son. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I think it might have
Definitely a New York
New York ghost be, yeah, son.
But no, like it's weird. So we've investigated places like plantations before, right? Where certain investigators go there and they're dealing with the spirits of slaves in the past. Then they get one type of reaction, and then we come and we do the same type of investigation, and we'll get a totally different reaction. So it's different. It's very interesting that spirits can interact or treat certain people certain ways. Yeah. Like, it was almost the reaction we got from the plantation was like, wow, like this is what we've You know what I mean? Like, this is where we've grown to after all these years.
It was welcoming.
It was very welcoming. Very welcoming.
I mean, well, it was 3 brothers coming back, you know what I'm saying? And we had white folks watching us and holding cameras, so they was like, yeah, we proud of y'all. I knew he's gonna come up again. I don't know. But it's all good. It's just great just to have, like, I think with the show, it's just blessed us because we're able to really enjoy life even more now because, of course, we're investigating, you know, the past lives and things of that nature. So you get to see how people lived back in those days, and you just really get to kind of unravel these stories and kind of find yourself looking into your story even more as a result of doing something like this.
Well, that's one of the really interesting and kind of fun parts is when you do that extra research. Especially, I saw the premiere episode that we're going to see this Friday, and like when you find out who lived in that house and what happened in that house and all those things and how that sort of informs the process. That's a really exciting part. Is that one of the parts you look forward to? Is doing that research and getting to see like, oh, what is the story behind here?
I know I think for us personally that's the element we didn't expect going into this process. Like, people always tell you their houses are haunted. Can we help them out? And that's more of a us coming and trying to provide some type of resolve. But I don't think we ever imagined that we would be hopping on Ancestry.com or going down to the court and looking at death certificates and all these records to really find out what could have happened on this personal land. So we found people from old war veterans who passed away to old gangsters in literally Minnesota that used to hide out on properties. Like, finding out these information is almost like we're treasure hunters, like Indiana Jones a little bit.
Feel very Nicolas Cage-ish right now.
Very Nicolas Cage.
Always a good way to feel.
Only
But yeah, that's what's so there's so much undiscovered and unexcavated history out there just waiting for people to find it. And you guys, you do it through such a fun lens in such an interesting way. Where did the idea to come from to like spend a couple of nights in people's houses? Because this is sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a spinoff, like an evolution of a show that you guys had done before. And I love that element where you're spending some personal quality time in these locations. Where'd that idea come from?
Well, it actually came from a conference we were doing. We just got to experience a lot of our fans, and all of our fans kept saying, you know, I have a haunted house. I would love for you guys to come. And, you know, after you hear that about 45, 50 times, you're like, maybe there is something to this. And then we just talked about it on the rooftop and just got to it, you know?
Did it take convincing or were all 3 of you in right away? Was anybody like, I don't know if I want to sleep in random people's haunted houses? Like,
I'm gonna be completely honest.
That was really our only like
That was the only
reservation.
thing. We was bringing our own sheets and
It
stuff, you
wasn't
know?
even the ghost. Like, we were more concerned about the living than we were the dead, right? Like, we're seriously like, ooh, are we really going to want to spend the night in a stranger's home?
You know, people don't watch the bathroom like they say they do. And like,
you don't
a whole bunch of things. People nasty, man.
Like, you don't got to sleep on somebody's couch. I don't know. Do they have animals?
it's a weekend, too. It's not overnight.
No, right?
Yeah.
3 days.
That's 3 days.
Commitment of time.
And then you like, is that a roach or a ghost? You know, it's like,
Part-time job.
what was that?
Yeah, it's such an interesting like experiment and idea, which is again just part of what makes the show so much fun is watching you guys kind of go there and like hunker down. It's like you figure out the reality of the situation. Like, well, all right, I guess we got to sleep here now, and we got to figure out how that's going to work. What in maybe not necessarily just in all of your experiences, what is the scariest? I'm so glad to be alive and here to tell the story situation you found yourself in, because in the first episode alone, there's some scary stuff. Somebody gets pushed. There's all these different things that could happen. What's the scariest thing you guys have ever experienced doing this?
I think this season was there was a family that had a spirit that seemed to be slowly trying to attack every member of the household, right? So they have a shed in the backyard, and the kids used to spend the night in the shed. But they had these gas tanks, these propane tanks in the shed. And literally one morning they woke up for the propane tanks were cut on in the shed while the kids were sleeping. So it was like something.
It wasn't Sherry she shed, I'm telling you
It
that
was
much.
not Sherry she
It was
shed.
not Sherry she
So
shed.
her she
It was
shed
not
burned
Sherry
down.
she shed.
But she gets the new she shed.
Yeah, she getting a new she shed.
If you haven't seen that commercial, guys, it's just a...
They were like, that went way over their heads.
I landed with a couple people. That's well. First of all, and I'm not judging those people, but if you already have a haunted house situation, why would you isolate the kids to their own sub-haunted house and then surround them with tanks of combustible gas?
Listen, I don't tell people.
Inviting danger.
I don't tell people how to discipline their kids.
How to raise
You know what I mean?
How to
Like,
discipline their kids. How to discipline them.
What lesson are they teaching them?
You want to go to the shed, don't you?
Honestly,
Keep acting up.
that was one of the reasons why they called us, because the entire property was haunted. So it was 2 different homes and a shed on this one like plot of land. So you had this ghost that was essentially moving from property to property, and it's like their kids live in one home and it's over there haunting their kids. Then the mother and husband are in another home and it's haunted that home. They'd have no idea how to get out.
What was it like? I mean, we talked a little bit about this, but, you know, when you encounter a family like that, you guys before, that wasn't as big a part of the show. We just kind of watched you guys go out there and experience these things, and we had a blast with that. But now you're coming into contact with a family who's in crisis. Like, their kids are threatened, their tanks are blowing up or whatever. But, like, it's real. It's real stuff. You guys, you find a balance. You're still funny within the show, but you are dealing with these people that are terrified. Was that something you had to figure out? Like, you've never had to do that before.
Nah, I mean, well, I think it's natural because we're just personable, you know, and one, I'm a father and a husband too. So when we're going into these homes, you know, it just always strikes a chord with us. Like we find ourselves like putting ourselves in their position. So I think that's why we always have such more detail and really more respect when it comes to these people's homes, because we can like, shoot, we can move into an apartment ourselves and it'd be haunted and we not know it. So I'm like, we want to make sure that these people just have rest and peace and just have a good connection with their family and not have a horrible situation happening, you know?
That roommate that don't pay rent.
Man, don't nobody want no roommate that don't pay no rent, you know, turning on them lights all the time.
No, I was gonna say that was probably like the aspect of the show that impacted me the most. I didn't expect to be touched like that, because you're experiencing this realness that these families are sharing with you, and it's a vulnerable moment for them, and so they're also being courageous in this same breath, right? So I think it touched all of us to have to be in that present moment with them. But Dalen, man, he offers bravery, he offers courage, so it kind of like gives the family something to look forward to, right? I can be this individual. Yeah. You got Marcus offering some comfort and some levity with humor. And so I think a lot of people find like humor is like food for the soul, right? It kind of brings you out of a tough situation. And then I just try to offer some level of compassion and understanding to let them know that like your concerns aren't falling on deaf ears, and we're here really to help.
Yeah, no, that's another fun part of the show is watching you guys make those connections. Has anything, you mentioned a roommate that doesn't pay rent, have you ever felt like something followed you back from doing this before?
No, my wife is back there, and her first thing she told me was like, don't you be bringing no side ghosts talking about, boo, who is that, Marcus? Who is that saying boo? You know,
There's only one boo.
There's only one boo. I'm your boo. So it's just like, you know, try to kind of keep it calm. So no, we don't bring nothing back because I mean, before we do every investigation, we pray, cover ourselves. You know, we're very spiritual, so we pray, cover ourselves before the investigation even ends. We still kind of do some type of like cleansing of ourselves. So yeah, we're not trying to bring that along because can't have no side.
Because talk about the scary moments. Something I always think about, and this comes up too whenever I talk to like someone from like Nat Geo or whatever. Whenever you see somebody do something incredible on television, I think what's often forgotten is there's a person holding a camera for like 5 feet to their left or behind them. They've got to be there too. And there was this moment in the first episode. You talk about the basement. You're like, they couldn't pay me to go down there, but the shot is from in the basement.
We paid somebody.
Cameraman had to go.
Poor cameraman.
So
You can't pay
terrified.
me,
So
but we
terrified.
paid him. We paid him to go down. You don't pay us.
Does it ever, when you have that person there, does it ever make it a little less scary? Because at least you're not completely alone, right? You've got someone with you, in a sense. They're not part of that moment, but they are.
Can I be completely honest? I don't think I've ever told y'all that. When I'm in situations like that, I just keep thinking in the back of my mind, like if something happens, I just have to be faster than him. And he's carrying a camera.
That's fair.
So like, I'm
carrying
like,
a
I'm
camera,
good.
so you gonna win?
I'm good. I'm good.
That is terrible.
It is. It is.
That is really bad.
You don't send them out there like, how about you go first?
I want to get a shot of me walking into the room.
Yeah.
So I think you got to go in there first.
We need to change that POV.
Talking about cameras and whatnot and what's captured on the cameras, you guys, we have the trunk popping moment, which is Ghost Brothers, part of the universe. It's class. It's great to see right in the first episode. And the reason we love that moment is when you bring out all the cool gear. Do you have some new gear this season or just new gear in general that you're really excited about?
Yeah, with Nate Dogg. We have.
We have a lot of new technology. Nate Dogg is one of our new guys. So we had Gangsta Boo last year, which is a teddy bear that has a REM pod in it, and it actually can kind of measure whatever kind of
Like electromagnetic field.
Yeah. So we have that, and Nate Dogg is an actual dog version of that. So it's just like we just have a nice little dog now.
We like to. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you was gonna say the same I was gonna say.
We like to pay homage to like the hip hop culture with some of our paranormal gear. So we have Nate Dogg, and it's a EMF stuffed animal. We have Gangsta Boo, which is a teddy bear. We have we do EVPs, and those are electronic voice phenomenons. We like to call those notorious EVP.
Baby.
Yeah.
We got a Remy pod.
A Remy pod. So the REM pod is kind of like the old game. Simon Says Light Up. But the REM pod, we call it the Remy pod. What else do we have, guys?
A lot of equipment, SLS cams, you know.
What's been the biggest game changer? What's the thing you got and you're like, oh, this is a whole next level. This is something that I can see things I couldn't see before. I can hear things I couldn't hear before. Like, because you guys have been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
So, like, what's come along and really changed the game?
It's really not anything that's changed the game. It's just certain forms of equipment are just getting a little bit better. So we use a thing called a spirit box. So we used to be a brand of a machine, but now they have it on an app on your phone. So you can literally, what it does is scans radio frequencies at a very, very fast pace. So think about if you're riding in a car and you're turning the radio station and it's just moving real fast so you can't understand what it's saying. It does that on your phone, but a spirit can theoretically speak through that and spit out words, sentences, small phrases. Yeah, I think that's our best one on the season because we get some pretty fantastic responses on
That's
that.
how you get like audible.
Yeah.
And then we have like the visual with the SLS cam.
Yeah.
And I think that changes the game too. Like that's a device in one of the clips. I don't know if you've seen. It's like an iPad and a stick figure will pop up. Yeah. And so that's like
What is that?
an anomaly. That's essentially
You
it.
say, what is it?
Yeah. But that's one of the most visual pieces of evidence that like equipment that we have, and that's really dope because you can kind of see something essentially manifesting itself in front of you.
And you see that happen in real time on the
Yeah.
right out of the gate. It's pretty wild. Where do you stand? I know it's rather low tech, but I got friends that won't even like go near a Ouija board because they think it opens a gateway and like invites it.
I still don't.
You feel the same way. You
yeah.
don't mess with the Ouija boards.
I don't, but like, I don't at all. No, I don't. She don't even look at her shaking her head. Ain't nobody trying to do
Not a
nothing.
crazy stance to take of like I don't want to touch the Ouija board, but like I'm always interested to see like if you welcome that or if you stay away from that.
That's just really dark. It's like opening up portals to stuff that you might not have any control over because you don't know who will answer on the other side of that.
But you're usually down to find out.
But I will definitely
You'll
play
knock on
with
that
one
door.
if it comes down
Oh,
to
for
it.
sure.
I will definitely do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
What has? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
you're
cut
good.
you off.
Go ahead.
But I was going to ask, just in general, what has doing this for years and going to these places and experiencing all these things together and whatnot, what has that done for how you sort of approach fear in general? Outside of that, like a fear of like heights or bees. Like, do you approach fear the same way, having been exposed to so many scary things?
I honestly think for myself, it goes down to the concept of you can't fear the unknown. Because it's like you don't know what's on the other side of this. So, like, I can't waste my time being afraid of what's about to happen. I have to react in the moment instead of anticipating it. Because you can go into a situation trying to be afraid, be fearful, and you'll miss out on something, like, crazy, something really dope. You know what I mean? It might be a cool spirit in there that's trying to talk to you. Might try to give you the lottery numbers or something.
Hey,
you over here trying to be
7,
mad.
10,
Right.
12.
Right.
Okay, you don't want to hear it then. You closed off.
Do you guys all generally feel the same way? Is that how you feel about? Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, it's allowed. I think, like I said before, it just allowed us to just look into life a little bit more and appreciate it. So that's how it's done for me.
Yeah, I kind of just strive to be comfortable in the uncomfortable moments. I know those uncomfortable moments will probably always present themselves. So whether that's in the paranormal field or whether that's in like our own personal business endeavors, like you just got to try and lean into that uncomfortability.
Does it since you guys have actually lived out what is generally the plot of 90% of scary movies? Does that change how you watch those or how those affect you? No, you can
Scary horror movie buff, scary movie buff. He loves it all.
I'll be in a movie theater like, hell no, don't you go in there. I've been in there before. Don't you go in there.
You've been in there before. Don't go in there.
There's nothing good on the other side of that door. I'm telling you that now.
Your commentary comes from a place of experience.
Yes.
You know exactly what's about to happen.
Yes. Y'all need to pull out the SLS cam right now.
Right? You hear that? That voice? That's an EVP.
What's your go-to? What's your like comfort scary movie? Like, oh, I got to put this on.
I love the Conjuring series.
Yeah.
And I love Candyman.
I was
Candyman
thinking,
back
yeah, when
in
I
the
said,
day.
when I said bees, I was thinking of Candy.
Yeah, all-time favorite.
Got me back in the day, yeah.
They're redoing it, though.
Are they really? I didn't realize
yeah.
that. Real bees?
Yeah.
Digital bees?
Digital bees, probably.
Those Brothers Haunted Houseguests Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, we try to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have a go-to scary movie, you guys?
Go-to scary movie would
Yeah.
definitely be those Freddy Krueger joints, man.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't sleep for like 2 days when I was 5, and thought my Freddy gonna get me. And my nana told me, "Go to bed, boy." You know, whip
She
you
was
with.
letting you watch Freddy Krueger at
No,
5?
she wasn't. I was sneaking. But she let me watch.
That's that parenting again.
That-
There it is.
She Sheds and Freddy Krueger.
I like to say I was really terrified of the movie The Others. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, with Nicole Kidman.
Bro, that came out like 2 years ago, bro.
Bro, I've been scared.
Be a
Listen,
favorite. It can still be a favorite.
You was
it's
afraid?
scared me. I'm
I'd say
scared.
childhood
I am
go-
terrified.
You're grown, Juwan. You're grown.
And I go into these haunted places and I'm still terrified.
Guys, I could hang out and talk to you guys all day about this show. I want to make sure we have some time. We got some questions from our audience, both in and out of the studio. So let's do one from Twitter real quick. This is from @GordonsLayward. Love it. What's your favorite episode of the show? Who's your favorite kid? There you go. You got to pick. Favorite episode.
Favorite episode? I think it would probably be the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, the bed and breakfast,
bed and breakfast.
in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, we visited a bed and breakfast this year, and it's a crazy story. A woman ends up buying a bed and breakfast with her husband. He passes away. She remarries and brings the new husband into this bed and breakfast. So now she has this polyamorous relation. No, it's like she literally it's a ghost and her regular husband. Like, all
the husbands,
going on.
all these husbands.
It's a lot of husbands.
A lot of husbands in that thing.
How did you guys, you mentioned that fans would come up to you and say, I have a haunted house, I have a haunted house. How did you make the list and decide we got to go here, here, and here? How did you figure that out, where you wanted to be?
Really based on the stories attached to it.
That's a great story.
Yeah, exactly. So stuff like that. Like, I think my dead husband is here with my current husband, and we both. But
they
that's
hooked us
the
up.
top of the list, right?
That's amazing. Was that a hard process figuring out, or was it pretty? Were there some standouts you knew kind of right away?
I think it's tedious. I think because you have a lot of people who think their house is haunted, and so like now we got to pick through like those stories, like Dalen was saying.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people do. Have you guys ever gotten there, stood around quietly in the dark for an hour, and like, I don't think we're getting anything?
You just got to cut off the faucet, man. That's the faucet that's running.
Sounds like the washer and dryer.
That's a bad appliance that you have. Ma'am, your house is not haunted.
I
It's
hope
just-
you still have the warranty.
It's just, this is an 86 dryer.
Have you had to figure that out? Has that happened to you, or is that just
Actually,
fear that you have?
actually,
That's a fear.
the good thing about the research that we did is that every house was actually haunted. Like, we did not miss out on this one. Every last spot that we went to has some type of crazy story to it, some type of crazy interactions happening from past family members to people who just come visit these homes at their friends or whatnot are actually experiencing things. So it's just unique. And then, we were also even talking about like, we know that even these people's neighbors have some stuff going on. So I think that's what happens now. Like, we're just more so just seeing a lot of people just starting to come out about their place might be haunted. So,
It's wild. Great question. Kate, do I have it? Yeah, I got two. Let's do two from the room. First one, microphone. Go for it.
Hi.
What's happening?
If you could travel outside of the U.S. and confront an international ghost, which city would you go to?
Ooh.
I've always wanted to go to this island in Italy. I can't remember what it's called. It's like,
Where, Juwan? What island in Italy did you want to go to?
it's like island in
Italian
Italy.
island.
Yeah.
An Italian island. It's all haunted.
Dia, something like that. I don't want to mispronounce it, but they would actually send their mental illness patients to this island. Then it became like an insane asylum, but it's all in this island. So it's like, I would love to go check that out.
Why?
One, because it's international. I feel like all international locations would probably be terrifying.
Where do you want to go?
I mean, since we throwing out islands, there's this beach in Tahiti that I feel
Fair
like
enough.
somebody
I
had
say
to have
that
died over
same
there
one.
somewhere.
A lot of people died
A
there.
lot of people
died
in Tahiti.
at that resort.
But yeah,
This is quickly
would
more
say-
new vacation, dream vacation destination.
Romania, it seems like a weird place that has like some type of like, it just seems so. There's a lot, not Rome. I said Romania, like just has that type of old world, type feel. Like you know that there's some stuff over there. So I would like to try that out.
Those ghosts have to have accents.
Who are you today?
Or even-
Why do you come to here?
Yeah, they still speak English.
Still speak English, but you see there because I can't
only speak
They got translators.
Thank you so much. Do we have time for one more? I'd love to do one more. Come on.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Came from the back. Okay. What's up?
I know what type of student that was.
Yeah.
I have two questions. So my first one is, which celebrity guest would you guys have on the show to do a mission with?
Awesome.
Or which celebrity ghost would you guys like to confront?
See, that's why you came to the front. I see. You did a good job.
Two good questions.
I'll give one. I think this guy's really interested in what we do all the time. He's a big fan, but Nas. We would like to bring Nas on to.
Nas would be dope.
Nas would be dope. And I would love to go probably the the Laugh Factory in L.A. They say it's haunted. So, I mean, with me being a stand-up comic, I always like to hear old jokes and try to see if I can get with those spirits too. You know,
Yeah.
stuff that they ain't used in a while, and I just use it.
That's cool. I think for me, like I'm into like old timey gangsters, like the mobsters and stuff. So it'd be really cool to like investigate with or like Bonnie and Clyde or somebody. I think that'd be kind of really cool. Just like pick their brain and just Huh?
And who with?
Who would I investigate with? That's a celebrity. I like Rihanna.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with ghost hunting or anything other than
Tahitian Island.
Yeah.
With Rihanna to Tahiti to investigate.
Work.
Hunt.
What are your picks?
I actually just kind of like both of their answers. I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't lose with either one of those.
So you won Rihanna in Romania.
Hey, that's fair.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Mix it up.
you got it. You see what we're doing.
Thank you.
So, yeah,
Great question.
cast a wider net. Those were great questions. Thank you so much. You guys are an awesome audience. And thank you guys for carving out some time to come hang out with us. It's been so cool having you here. Well, real quick, before I plug the show again, I don't know, did you get a vibe? Is this place haunted or not? What do you think? It's an old Tower Records.
Okay.
I don't know if that factors in.
A little bit.
There's a lot of feel-good energy in
Right?
here. But
You would think so. Yeah, a lot of people have sat in those chairs.
Oh man, it's too many beautiful people in here, man. For it.
Oh, there we go.
See how I did that. You said I did that.
anybody's career die on this stage, or
Not yet.
Hey.
But let's see how I sign off. So the show, the premiere is Travel Channel is this Friday at 9, and I think they're doing a couple of the older episodes too before that as
Marathon,
well.
right
So
before that.
definitely tune in
Marathon
before 9.
So all y'all need to watch it because y'all looking like y'all. I don't know what this show is, but you gonna know what, especially you, bro. You gonna know, bro. Yeah, you.
Giving us the
Yeah,
shifty
you.
look.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, you gonna know, bro.
like something up their sleeve?
This is a fantastic show, and you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much, and congratulations on this. Anything else you want to plug before I sign up? Is that it? That's the big show? Anything? You said you're a stand-up. You got any dates coming up?
Shoot, I got a date with my wife.
Gotta do that.
But we just have a lot of good things going on, man. We just keep watching us, and you'll follow and see what we're doing.
I say follow us on social media. I'm Juwan Mass on Instagram and all other platforms.
Dalen Spratt.
And the Marcus Harvey, THE Marcus Harvey.
Perfect. Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much again. And thank you guys. Make a huge round of applause. Huge
Yeah,
round.
thank you,
for the Ghost
guys.
Brothers,
Thank you,
Juwan
everybody.
Mass and Marcus Harvey. The Marcus.